So before I leave the podium, I would like to ask for a few minutes of your attention to allow me to talk a little bit about the United States Spiritist Medical Association, that I will refer to as SMA-US or SMA. So the SMA is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that gives voice to scientists and healthcare professionals to communicate their knowledge, their experience in how spirituality positively affects health. Based on the principles of Spiritism, the mission of the SMA-US is to educate healthcare professionals and support research on the impact of spirituality or the impact of spirit, or what some call soul, in physical and mental health. The SMA mission is primarily geared to healthcare professionals because they are the ones who take care of our own health. So it's our effort to help them to understand that we are spiritual beings. But of course, our activities are always open to everyone interested in spirituality, on health. A number of recognized speakers, professionals have presented lectures in SMA events, and many of you, have been able to listen to them, like Dr. Harold Koenig from Duke University, Dr. Christina Puchalski from GW University, Dr. David Rosmarin from Harvard University, just to mention a few. During the first semester of this year, the SMA presented a series of webinars on and lectures by psychiatrists, and we asked them to especially focus on spirituality and mental health. And on the 18th, 2 weeks from now, we will present a live this panel discussion focusing on relevant parts of these 4 webinars through the lens of Spiritism. So we're not going to invite the speakers to be there. We formed a panel within the SMA to discuss specific parts of these webinars, and we're going to discuss that through the concepts of Spiritism. An important recent accomplishment of the SMA, which I'm very glad, was to be included as a subscriber of the Religion, Spirituality, and Health Scientific Interests Group of the NIH, which allow us to announce our events through their mailing list to the scientific community interested in spirituality and health, anyone who, not only the NIH people, but people out of NIH. The SMA works to promote a medical practice that understands the spiritual essence in the human being, and that treats patients from the perspective of body and soul. If that's a model that fits you, if that's a model that you think it's right for you, please support the SMA in the effort to make this a reality. You can support by becoming a member, and please participate in the events. So don't forget, October 18th, 8 p.m., it's going to be transmitted by YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, here's one of our tech supporters. I thank the organizing of this event for giving me time to talk a little bit about the SMA-US. And of course, I'll be here if anybody wants to ask any question about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonia, and our lovely speakers. As we approach the end of our evening, I just wanted to take a brief moment to pay tribute to Allan Kardec, who is the codifier of this beautiful doctrine that brings us so much peace and understanding about the world around us. And we recently celebrated his 220th anniversary of his birthday on Tuesday, October the 3rd. So we're going to play a short video called Thank You, Kardec by the spirit of Humberto de Campos.
Thank you, Kardec. Kardec, as you receive the honors of the world, we ask your permission to join our simple, loving homage to the songs of recognition which exalt your monumental work in the realms of spiritual liberation. We herein do not address the professor emeritus you were, but the disciple of Jesus who enabled the foundation of Christian Spiritism, whose structure defies the passage of time. Let others speak of the titles of culture that adorned your personality, of the prestige you enjoyed in the intellectual spheres, of the light of your presence in social circles, of the glory of your illustrious name. For all references to your personal dignity will never fully describe the exact value of your human worth. We will speak to the faithful friend of Christ and humanity in gratitude for the courage and altruism with which you have ignored yourself to deliver to the world the message of the higher spirituality. And recalling the atmosphere of concerns and difficulties where, in order to rekindle the light of the gospel, you overcame insult and sarcasm, persecution and slander. We wish to express to you the affection and gratitude of all those in whom you strengthen the faith in immortality and in the wisdom of life. May the Lord exalt you for all those you have delivered from darkness, and bless you for those who, facing their fate, have been renewed by the strength of your word and your example. Before you lined up, grateful and reverent, those you have snatched out of madness and suicide with a beacon of hope, those you have pulled out of the maze of obsession through redeeming clarification, the unfortunate parents who found themselves tormented by insensitive and delinquent children, and the distraught children who found themselves in the depths of frustration and abandonment by the irresponsibility of unstable parents, and who were readjusted by your teachings around reincarnation. Those who are reborn in painful conflicts of the soul and thus recognize themselves overwhelmed with anguish in the trial of thickets, and who you have delivered from madness, pointing them to the successive lives. Those devastated in mourning, touching the slate in search of loved ones that death stole from their anxious arms, and to whom you have opened the horizons of survival, instilling in them renewal and peace in contemplation of the future. Those you have raised from the marshy ground of tedium and despondency, giving them again the desire to work and the joy of living. Those who have learned from you the forgiveness of offenses and blessed in prayer those same companions of humanity who stabbed their spirits with strikes of insult and ingratitude. those who have heard your fraternal word and humbly accepted injury and pain as instruments of redemption, and those discarnate who were misunderstood or accused without a crime, embracing the consoling pages which they have wet with their own tears. All of us who you have lifted from the dust of worthlessness or the gall of disappointment to the blessings of life are also standing before you, and recognizing ourselves in the condition of the least of your admirers and as the last of your humblest friends, deeply moved in your celebration, we ask your permission to say, thank you, Kardec. Thank you very much.
So now I'd like to call Abigail Francisco, who is president of the Spiritist Society of North Beach, which will be hosting our symposium next year, and she will be doing our final prayer.
Good evening. I'm just gonna make a correction. Our next symposium is gonna be in 2 years. Not that we don't want it to do every year, but we want to give a chance for others to do other events for us to participate also. Was not a wonderful afternoon? I think you all can feel this beautiful atmosphere surround us, all this light and this good vibration. And with that, I'm gonna ask you to relax your mind and close your eyes, and let's elevate our thoughts to dear Mother, Father, and Master Jesus. We started this meeting with you, and we are closing it with you with gratitude in our hearts. We thank also to our mentors and the good spirits for helping to make this meeting a success. We would not have done without the help of you all. May the things we have learned today stir in our hearts, and may we put them into practice. As we depart from this space now, we ask to be blessed throughout the remainder of the day, and please guide us safely home. Let's learn of this gather not to die, but instead, may they continue to ruminate within us and bear fruits throughout the year. And in your name, Jesus, we ask permission to close this marvelous symposium today. May peace be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope you've enjoyed being a part of this event as much as we enjoyed organizing it for you. As I said, the 5th Spiritist Symposium, which will be in 2 years, not one, will be in the charming bayside town of North Beach, nestled in the Chesapeake Bay's western shore of Maryland. We ask that you please remember to respond to the survey when you receive it from us. Don't forget to check for any of your possessions or your belongings to take with you. We also ask that you exit through this door here and not this one, since a lot of our tech equipment is plugged in on this side. That way nobody trips. And as I mentioned earlier, the library is closed, so we do not have access to the front door, but the parking lot is right here, so it's probably easier anyways. So thank you everyone so much for coming, and we wish you a very safe journey home. God bless.